All right, Caroline, New Zealand has introduced a new law to try and phase out smoking. It's effectively banned anyone born after 2009 from ever being allowed to buy cigarettes. People are saying Australia should follow suit. Where do you sit in the no cigarettes for you camp?
I think this is just the nanny state going a little bit too far. Look, I don't smoke. I don't even really drink, Cory, so I must be just like the biggest wowser going around. But look, I think once people get to 18 years old, they should be able to make that judgment call for themselves, whether they want to smoke or they don't want to smoke. And, you know, the people who are proponents of getting rid of cigarettes are, ironically, proponents of legalising marijuana. So I'm not sure how you can be a proponent of one and not the other. But I think as far as cigarettes are concerned, people can make their own decisions. We've got to stop putting baby safety latches on every single thing in life, because once it's cigarettes and then it's sugar and then you're not allowed to do this and no one's allowed to have fun, and you know, like, where do you stop?
Yeah, well, if we leave it to these zealots, it could go anywhere. We won't be having any more fun. There'll be no more vices, and I'd have nothing to laugh at every single week. All right, Sophie, how about this next story? US rapper Azealia Banks, I got to say, I'd never heard of her before this, has vowed to never return to Australia again. She cancelled a bunch of shows this past week before launching a rampage where she labelled us racist and said that being here made her miserable. Apparently, it's not the first time. Back in 2015, when she last toured, she called Australians violent and belligerent. Apparently, it's all because some people threw things at her while she was on stage once. Is she just a terrible performer and we don't want to hear? Or should we be reassessing our own behaviour, Sophie?
Well, if anyone's ever heard of her, that's quite amazing in the first place. But if you look at her track record, she has a history of going to countries around the world and calling people racists. If Australia is such a shocking place, I don't know why on earth she'd bother coming back here again. She came here previously before, as you said, Cory, and said we're all a bunch of awful people. So she's got a history of doing that. She's been in Ireland and made comments about behaviour there. She's also said some atrocious things about the Swedish, which I won't repeat on air. But I just say, well, if that's your view of us, don't bother coming back here. And I completely disagree with her. And where is the evidence? She just seems to make these statements. Has she gone to police? Has she made formal complaints? She just seems to be mouthing off and trying to draw attention to herself. So I don't think it'll be any loss if she doesn't return to Australia, Cory.
I'm just delighted I'm not the only person who hasn't heard of her. And, you know, picking on the Irish and the Aussies is one thing, but the Swedish, what have they done to anyone except give us Volvos? Come on.